Professor Jeff.
I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. How you guys doing?
Well,
Good. See people coming in. Hey, Tim. Hey, Angela. You guys don't stay muted. Do your thing. Just saying hi as people come in.
Progress. Progress. Progress.
See more people coming in. Hi, everybody. Do your thing. Screen on, screen off. Whatever you got to do. Just saying hi while people come in. Hey, Katima. Hey, Samira.
Hi.
Hello, dear professor.
Hi.
Hi, professor.
Hi. How are you doing?
Hi, Professor.
Hello. Let me make my screen bigger so I can see everybody. There's Nadia. There's Angela, Sherry, Fatima. Hey, you guys.
Hello.
Fazia says hi in the chat. Hey. Hey, Fazia.
Hi, professor.
Amina.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. How you doing? You guys seem happy. It's nice to see your happy faces, even though it's a little dark and cold and stuff. Or Tim, that, but yeah, no, it's been good to see you guys. Oh, good. We got a lot of people coming in. Hey, Rukshan.
Hi, professor. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Good. See, let's see, more people coming in. More people in the chat. Hey, Sabzina says hi, everybody in the chat. Big group. It's so good to see you. Saeed is here. Raina's coming in. Rafi, of course. Rafi's here. Rafi says hi in the chat. Hey there.
Good morning, Professor.
Hey, Sadav. Good group. Good.
Hello.
Hi, Reina. I had class on Wednesday, and there were very few. I don't know. Wednesday, yesterday was a little extra windy. I don't know people, but maybe very small Wednesday class. So I didn't know how many people would be here, but it's very good to see so many people today. It makes me very happy.
Yeah.
We'll wait maybe 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll get started because we already got a good group here. That's excellent.
Professor,
Please, Tim.
where do I find the syllabus part 2 for lesson 5?
Sure. It's the part 2 is actually just means the like part 2 of the quiz. Let me put on student view here. It's still the same document for the syllabus. It's just that you need to look on pages 3, 4, and 5. So all the information for lesson 5 are in the appendix. I'll open the docs here and show you, but are in the appendix on page 3, 4, and 5. So that's all it means, but it's the same document.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So really, yeah, the first one is about these first 2 pages. That's where most of the information is. And then here, where it says Appendix A, all the information you need to answer part 2 is on these pages. And a lot of people are able to find this. I still need to finish grading people's introduction letters, but I did get to grade some of the first early assignments. So you should be able to find it pretty easy, Tim, hopefully. If not, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. All right, let's get going with our nice big group today. It is so nice to see you. So today is Thursday, January 28th, 2021. And here is the plan for today. So I've got a quick check-in activity. It's kind of like Tim's question was about sort of computer stuff and class stuff. I want to just check in with you guys real quick. Then I've got a warm up, and today we're going to talk about reading strategies as we prepare to start reading not the entire book, but some chapters from a book called Why Translation Matters. And then we're going to talk about, if we have time, ideology. And ideology is just a sort of college academic word for beliefs. So that's all. You can kind of see the word idea at the beginning of the word. So if we have time, we're going to talk about this idea about ideology and some of the beliefs that people have about language, people have about culture, people have about translation, because all of this work is going to get us ready when we start to read our first book of the semester. The first full book that we read is going to be this one, The Map is Only One Country. So a lot of the ideas that we start to learn about right now, we're going to sort of apply those when we analyze, understand, and read A Map is Only One Story. So that's the plan for today. So first, I just want to do a quick check-in, and we'll stay in the large group here, and then I am going to let you talk to each other, so it's not just me. But what I really want to know is, what problems are we still having with the class? Book problems, Canvas problems, technology questions. This is really just a first question at the beginning of class to say, how can I help? What's going on? What questions do we still have? So please raise your hand, unmute yourself, type in the chat, whatever you want to do. And Nassima says hello. Hi, Nassima. Thank you for typing in the chat. Anybody having problems we need to talk about and I can help you with? Everything is perfect?
No.
Wow. Okay, tell
Well,
us. Tell me,
Everybody's good.
tell me what's not perfect. Tell me what's not perfect and I'll try to fix it.
I'm not good at computer. I don't like computer or and I am still learning. I try to learn.
That's totally fine. So
I see video and learn something.
Yeah.
If I have
Okay.
question, I ask you again.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Nadia, please.
I want to ask you, speak a little slowly.
Oh, even slower, huh? I think I'm trying to talk slow, but I'll do my best, Nadia. I will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When is a student room is 10 until 12 to 12 in
Mhm.
Thursday and Tuesday, but it wasn't available today.
Yes, I can. I think there was a problem with the link in Canvas, so let me fix that on the home page. I can definitely do that. So I can make a note of this here. Hold on one thing. These are my notes for myself here. Fix student Zoom room link. Okay, anything else?
And
Layla, anybody?
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Can I
right.
ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Okay. Could you explain a little about student Zoom meeting? Is there any specific subject to talk or?
Yeah, Rafi, the idea, so there's the idea is that it's supposed to be, the idea is that it's a space. It's hard to imagine because it's everything, of course, on the computer, but the idea is that it's a space for students to talk to each other. So if you wanted to talk to Layla, or if you wanted to talk to Samira, it's like doing your homework together, kind of in a group. But instead of feeling like you need to call, or you need to send a message, or you need to organize it, the idea is that there's like an online room that's just open for you, to go in to talk to each other. But it's not like this, right? It's not like I give you a lesson or there's something specific. It's really just a chance for students to talk to each other. If you want to talk to about something specific, the best thing to do is send me a text or send me an email and say, Jeff, I want to see you Thursday afternoon at 2:45, whatever. And then it's just you and me, right? One-on-one. Or if you need help on Wednesday mornings, that's what the email, phone call stuff is for on Wednesday mornings. So the Zoom room is, like I said, just for you guys. I don't give you a plan. I don't give you anything. It's just a chance for you to talk to each other. If you want to work with me, well, that's what the other things are for. Does that make sense, Rafi?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Great questions so far. Let me check the chat. Hold on. I have a problem with the computers. Yeah, I mean, the computer, the technology stuff, all I can say about this is, so I want to show you two things in Canvas and then we can finish up here. But remember, if the computer things are difficult for you, that is okay. I'm not going to hurt you or take points away from you. But it does mean you're just going to go slower. Things will take longer. But the only good news is these skills you are teaching yourself now, they will be useful forever, right? So even if you don't take a full online class again, using the computer for another ESL class, using the computer for a biology class or a childhood ed, I mean, these computer skills will help you. But you're right, it's painful at first. Learning something that's new is not fun. And you're learning two things that are new, right? You're learning the English part and you're learning the computer part. So the best thing I could say, Fatima, anybody else is, Layla, to go slow. It's okay. Do not be afraid to send me a text or send me an email and ask a stupid question. Where can I find this? How do I do this? What do I click this link? That kind of stuff. I can help you with that. The hard stuff like typing on a keyboard, go slow and practice, because that takes time. There's no one perfect way to do it. There's no one perfect way.
Other things in the question syllabus quiz second the question is not clear exactly. I think I answered them, but somebody helped me to what do you say, and again I think the part second is not clear. The syllabus, I talk about syllabus.
Right. So Layla, I'd say this. If you don't think the question in Canvas is clear, text me, not another student, because I can tell you what I'm asking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the other thing I will add is, in this class, remember, part of what we talked about last week, part of what is on the learning goals for this class is critical thinking skills, right? Critical thinking means I'm going to ask you questions that don't have just one right answer, right? I'm going to ask you kind of open questions and ask you to sort of think about things, try on new ideas. So yes, you're right. And maybe that feels like it's not clear, or maybe like it's less clear. So there's two things, right? If you just don't understand the question, you think Jeff is asking some crazy stuff, text me, email me, call me, and I will say, here's what I'm asking. But I also want to say, don't be afraid when I ask you a question and then you answer it and you're like, is that right? And I'm like, maybe. Some people think it's right. Some people think, that's what we mean by critical thinking, Layla, is it's not just the one true easy. It's easier. True, false questions are easier, right? Essay questions are harder. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. But I appreciate that. And I want to say just one more time for Layla, for anybody, if you're looking at a lesson in Canvas and you're thinking, I don't know what Jeff is asking, text me or email me. Okay. I'll explain what I'm asking for. I will explain what I'm asking for.
Okay, thank you.
Remember, if you text me at like 2 in the morning, it might be the next day. Okay. If you text me at 2 in the morning, I might answer in the next morning. Okay. I did want to show you two things in Canvas real quick, and then we will move on. So this is a little bit of computer stuff, but I want to make sure everybody knows this is what you see, right, on our homepage. I know you don't see the pink, but this is what happens when I'm in my teacher view and I turn it into student view. So I see what you see. I just want to make sure everybody knows the Zoom recording for last week is here on live support materials. So again, if you go to the home page
مجید میشه برام آب بیاری خیلی تشنمه.
and you click live support materials, you'll always be able to see anything we did in a Zoom class there. So click this link. It will take you to the PowerPoint presentation that I show in class, right? It'll eventually show up here. There it is. So, you know, today when we finish class, I'll put this PowerPoint into Canvas, right? Everything I have for today will be in Canvas. And then the Zoom recording will take you to YouTube. And I put these on YouTube for one reason. I will show you. Once again, it starts to load. 24 views, so people found it. That's great. You can always turn on the captions so that if you want to, or if you think I'm talking too fast, you can read the captions along to help explain or clarify those ideas. So remember, all that information is there for you anytime, and that's under the live support materials page. The other thing I wanted to show you is I started giving grades for things, and not very much right now, but when I grade your letter, your welcome letter, I'm going to leave you a comment, right? And I want you to be able to see what I tell you, feedback, ideas, suggestions. I want to make sure you know where to find that. So I want to show you for any assignment where you get a grade, you can click on grades. And then on that page, you'll see all your grades. And next to some of them, you'll see this little text. It looks like a text bubble right here, right? If you click that, it'll open up for you, right? Or you can also click the assignment itself, click on lesson 5, and then all of my comments will be over here on this side for you, right? Now, this is just an example student. This isn't a real student, but I want to make sure that when you start to get your grades and when you start to, you know, I'm leaving you comments, you know where to read those comments, where to find them in Canvas, okay? So again, one more time, and if you're watching the recording, hi, we miss you. You can just click grades. And then if you see the text message, you can click on the text, or you can just click on the assignment by itself and see the comment over here on the right-hand side, right?
It's like feedback.
Okay, so I just want
Like
say again, Nadia?
feedback.
Yeah, for the essays, of course. Go ahead.
Oh, it's like feedback.
Yes. So for an essay, of course, it'll be, this is good, this is bad, fix this. Yes, yes. For shorter assignments, it might just be a little short note. So different assignments, different types of feedback, different types of comments, but whatever it is, that's where you'll find it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions about computer stuff before we get started with the ideas for today's class? Computer stuff, Canvas stuff. Oh my God, this class is so hard. Why did I sign up? Any of that stuff. Okay, great. So let's get started then with our warm up. So again, I'll just say one last time, if you're scared or don't know what is happening in this class, text me, okay? Okay, I'm done. So here's our warm-up activity. I'm going to put you in small groups, and I want us to start to talk about reading strategies. So I know there are many questions here. You can talk about all of them or one of them, whatever, but this is one, what do you know about reading strategies? What reading strategies have you used in the past? Which were helpful for you? What stops you from reading strategies? And if you're saying, Jeff, I don't even know what a reading strategy is, oh my God, just tell your group, I don't know what that is, and maybe they can explain it to you, okay? And if you don't know what a reading strategy is right now, in about 30 minutes, I promise you will know a lot more about it, okay? Any questions about what I want you to talk about in your small groups? I'm going to get the breakout rooms ready.
Oh.
Go ahead, please, anybody.
What reading strategy means?
Love it. Good.
What does it mean?
Ask your group, they'll tell you. I'll also put it in the chat, or we can ask real quick, anybody. I think the most important keyword here is strategy. It's a noun. What is a strategy? Does anyone know the meaning of this word?
It's
The structure,
Hello?
Professor.
It's like
Good. Samira says structure. Reina, what were you going to say, Reina?
yes.
It's
For me, a strategy is when we use some ways to read in an easy way, or something that is helpful for us to facilitate the reading.
Good.
it's
I love
Jeff,
it.
it's improve the student reading.
Ooh, love it. Yeah, a way to improve your reading. I agree. That's why I'm going to teach it to you today. Anybody else want to add?
Like okay.
a strategy is some method to read some article or
Nice. Yeah,
methods.
method is a nice word. I think method
Yeah.
is a really nice word. I will define, I will give you the, Fauzia?
A technique that we achieve our goal.
Nice. A technique to help you read better, a technique to help you achieve your goal. I love that. Anybody else? These are all good. These are very good.
For example, when we read, we normally try to translate, but if we use the technique to read and read and read without stopping, that will help us to get better.
Ooh, Reina, you are going to be my expert today. You're going to be ready because this is exactly what we're going to talk about in practice. But for now, you can share with your small group. So Nadia, does that help a little bit? It's a technique, it's a plan, it's a way to make yourself a better reader. That's what a reading strategy is.
Thank you.
Mahmoud, you know that's my word for that. I know you know this. I was talking about this in R50, Mahmoud. That's right. I know. Mahmoud knows, I know. Plan is my word. So talk to each other. And Nadia, if you say, I don't know what this is, I've never done it, that is totally fine. Just listen to your group and talk to your group, share, and we can just think, what do you do, right? When you want to read or become a better reader, what do you do, right? Because that's what we're really going to talk about today. So the rooms are going to open up right now. I'll give you guys about 10 minutes. Please talk about this, and then of course talk about whatever else you talk about, because we're all human beings. We can just say, how are you? How's life? What's up? So I'm going to open the rooms right now, and I'll see you all in about 10 minutes.
Hi, Professor Jeff.
Himir, I'm not sure what happened. I sent you into group 3.
Progress. In progress.
Room 1, room 4, they're still talking. That's great.
We will learn from them what they did.
Yeah, they better have something good to say.
Yeah.
I like that. Or they just all went to get lunch, and this class is right in the middle of lunchtime, you guys. Okay, great. Well, I would love to hear from you. And like I said, I am going to ask one person from each group to share something, just a little bit even of what you talked about. But then I do want to hear from anybody who wants to report, since today is really all about reading strategies. So group 1, that's Lele, Rafi, Reina, Susana, Tim. Anybody who wants to share what you guys talk about? What are some things you already do? Just anything you talked about.
I think Reina had a great strategy that she was talking about. It was memorizing with the pictures. I don't know if she wants to, share that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I was discussing with them about a teacher that I had, I think 3 years ago in a class. She told us about a story map technique that she taught us how to figure it out, the story with the little drawings, and and identify the story characters and the plot, the setting problems, and the end of the story. Yeah, and with the little drawings, and I think that helped us. I didn't practice after that that technique, but I remember that was more easy for us to remember the story when we draw the characters.
I love that. That's really interesting. And of course, now one thing I love about doing online teaching is that I can just, we can go right there. If I Google story map reading technique, maybe I can find a link and put it in the chat for anybody. Story maps, classroom strat. I mean, you get lots of all this stuff. Let's see if there's a good website. So I like this technique, and we are going to do, oh, that's okay. I don't know if this is good or not. I haven't looked at it, but you could at least take a look at it if you like in the chat. We are going to read narratives, right? Not like short stories really, but the first genre, A Map is Only One Country, is about personal narratives, and those are stories, right? And if you think about it, if you think about what happened in your own life experience, usually when you tell what happened, there is kind of like a beginning and a middle and an end to whatever part of your story you're telling. So even though we're not doing full, stories, some of this story mapping could definitely be helpful for narratives. So I love that, Reina. That's awesome. That's a great example of a reading strategy. Fantastic. Good. Amazing. How about group 2? Anybody from group 2? In group 2 was Fatma, Veronica, Leila, Ruka, and Sabina. Anybody from that group have something to share? Hold on, I'm going to mute you, Leila. Anybody from group 2? What'd you talk about?
Professor, we talk about the reading strategies. Just I remember some things from the other class. When we read a paragraph or a story, first we have to read the paragraph without, if we know some words, it's no matter, just read and get the main idea. And the second time or the third time, if we don't know some words, we have to search what's the meaning of the word. Yeah. And also, when we read some paragraph, we can find the main idea and one or two in the first sentence or the last. Yeah.
Well, Ruchan, I love it. Fantastic. Yeah, we talked about this in R50, didn't we? But good, lots of good stuff in there that Ruchan was saying. We'll get to practice a lot of those ideas in this class as well. But yeah, main idea versus detail, trying not to stop at every word that you don't know, trying to identify or trying to think about where can you find the main idea, right? Is it in the first paragraph? Is it later in an article? Where just in the structure of what you're reading is that information? So great examples, Richard. Great examples, Richard. How about group 3? I'm moving a little bit fast just because I want to make sure. Today we're going to practice this, right? Today's class is a little bit like a lab because I want to give you some time to practice this. So forgive me for moving a little quickly, but how about room 3? Angela, Fatima, Mir, Sadaf, and Sherry. Did you guys talk about one or have an example? What'd you guys talk about?
Yeah, we did talk about the reading strategy, and we spoke that when we read articles or book, we have to read like the first time we read it, and the second time without like translate or without to focus for the meaning of the words. At the second time, we annotate it.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, annotated.
Yeah.
Annotated at the second part, we will check for the main points, the main idea. After that, we like check for the details.
Great. I love it. I love it. So group 3 talked about, thank you, Angela. Group 3
You're
talked
welcome.
about some of the same reading mold. So the idea is, okay, I know I will read this 2 or 3 times. So the first time I read, I have a very specific goal, main idea. I'm trying to find the main idea. The second time I read, maybe I'm trying to get small details, get more specific information. And then the other reading strategy that Angela shared with us is annotating the text, right? And annotating is just a college academic word for writing, right? Circling, highlighting, even in a we're going to look at this example, right? Even in a document like a PDF online, you can highlight things on the page even when you're just reading on the screen. So all of these things, right? Or even what can we do in PDF? You could right, whatever, right? This is an example of annotation. If you've never seen that, annotating, if you've never seen that word, it really just means, marking up your page, writing on the page. And you know what? I'll just say right now too, there's different reading strategies that work for different people. And I'll just tell you right now, for me, annotating, it's fine, but it's just not something I used to do a lot. Other people love it, right? So I'll say this on the first day we talk about reading strategies. I hope that you'll try out maybe 2 or 3 of these to find which ones you like, right? Because it's not like there's one perfect one for everybody. You got to find what works for you. So great examples, Angela. Group 3, thank you so much. How about group 4? That was Amina and Angela, Mahbouba, and Saeed. Anybody want to share what you talked about? Other examples?
Yes, I'm gonna share what we talk. So we talk about the reading strategy, which how many times we can read, so which is very helpful. And the second thing we talk about annotate, so how we annotate the main idea. And also we talk about the highlights. It's very helpful.
Love it. So highlighting, were there any other examples of how you guys annotated highlighting? Did you say underline?
Underline is also work, yeah. And the last thing we talk about the what stop you from the using reading strategy. Yeah. It means like we need like quiet place to don't stop us from the annotating or the strategy.
Yeah, it's very true. I think that's an interesting idea. Maybe you could even say part of a reading strategy is where are you reading? What time of day? Are there distractions? And of course, right now during COVID, it's like there's distractions everywhere. There's the TV and there's my family, there's my child. I mean, it's just nonstop, So I like that idea as well too, Saeed. So thank you. That's fantastic. Great. Last group, group 5. Fazia, Nadia, Nasima, Samira, what'd you guys talk about?
Yes, dear professor, or our group talking about the strategy of the reading. We are agree about how that when we want to improve our language, when we want to improve our language, we must be read very carefully when we read the topic and the paragraph. And the first time when we read the paragraph or topic or some books on the other book, we must be read carefully and read the main idea. What is uh, the main idea of the this paragraph? And the second time, we must be try to identify the concept of the paragraph, of the concept of the topic, and then analyze and synthesize this concept out to know what is the meaning of the paragraph we read. And then we take some idea and then to thinking about, imagining about, and then to write in our own imagination. It's very good to improve our reading, and that's it.
I love it. That's great. That's really,
One
really
more
great.
question.
Yes, please
Well,
jump
I
in.
was asking it to the group too. So, for me, like one strategy that I was thinking it's helpful is
Yeah.
analyze.
Okay. Say more about that.
So, let's say if I'm reading something, right? It depends, if I'm reading some content, let's say history. So what I do, I just not reading like constantly over and over, because if I don't understand what I'm reading, there's not going to be any point for me. So I try to analyze, I try to understand what I'm reading, what it's asking. Okay, if it says so, what it means. So, I'm trying to get the picture, imagine it, and then, it's helping me to remember and understand more deeply than just reading over and over, or I don't know, annotating or something like that.
Yeah, Susanna, I'm with you. You're going to see my nephews. They're running around behind me. Speaking of distractions, hi. You're exactly doing that. They're telling me to be quiet now. But Susanna is this idea. Okay, you can hang out, but you can't talk, my love. So one thing is what you just said is exactly my favorite reading strategy, which is reading carefully, but then thinking about what you just read, right? And if you can, writing or talking about what you just read. And in fact, this strategy that Susanna just shared with us is what we're going to practice today, because I think it combines both, right? You connect reading with writing, and it's like connecting listening with speaking. And what we know about how human beings learn a language is when you do both together, it really sticks. It really, really sticks in your brain, right? So I love it. The other thing I saw in the chat was that Hatima said, read out loud. Now, I love that strategy. Some people hate it. So again, whatever works for you. But remember, if you do practice reading out loud, it's going to take you a lot longer, right? It's going to take a lot longer to read out loud. So just things to be aware of. Sorry, everybody, give me 1 second. Thank you. Okay, let's practice then. In fact, I have one thing to share you the definition. All right, so we just talked a lot about the examples of reading strategies that you already know, you already use, which is fantastic. But I did want to sort of introduce this and how I would define it. So just to be clear here, reading strategies. A reading strategy is a careful, strategy, the definition here for strategy is a careful plan or method for achieving a particular goal, usually over a long period of time. So really, a reading strategy just means you make a plan for reading, right? You make a plan about how you're going to read. And in the presentation here, when I post it into Canvas, you're going to be able to see that I have links to a bunch of different things that if you want more information, more ways to practice the different reading strategies, there's a lot of good links for you. So there's 2 links to some YouTube videos from a person who I really, really like the way that they talk about reading strategies. And then there's an online article, and actually I'll open this article for you here. So if you remember, if you go to live support, you'll be able to find this link. Oh, my computer's being. So this is the link that is in the PowerPoint slide where it says online article. This is the link. So again, if you want more information, just more practice or more things to learn about what reading strategies are, all of this stuff is in the PowerPoint presentation here for you to look at as well, okay? But today we are going to practice a very specific thing. Oh, Sadaf says in the chat, I think one reading strategy is after we finish reading, if we discuss it in our own language. Oh my God, Sadaf, you again, between Sadaf and Susanna, you guys are already sort of making a prediction for what my plan here for what we're going to practice. So here's what we're going to practice doing, right? Here's what we're going to practice doing. And I will mute myself so that you cannot hear these beautiful boys when I'm doing this. So 1, you're going to set a timer for 15 minutes, and I'm going to help you with that. Then you're going to start the timer, start reading. And if you can, it's going to feel difficult, but do not stop, right? This technique, oh, by the way, this is called timed reading and reflection. That's the name of this technique here. So when you're reading, try. Do not stop to translate any words. Now, if you want to circle, underline, highlight words you don't know and keep going, that's fine. But don't stop. Don't get on your phone. Don't go to Google Translate. Don't do it. So now, after we're done, and I'll keep a time. Okay, let me finish first. Nope, let me finish. I'm saying no, and then I'll come back. Let me finish. So after you keep reading, you get to go for 15 minutes. Then after 15 minutes, you set a 5-minute timer and you write for 5 minutes about what you did understand. And I think I know your question, Layla. I'm going to start to answer why, and then I'll let you talk. And you can do this in any language, right? So this is like Sadaf was saying in the chat. If you want to do this in your first language, that's totally fine. But here's the answer to your question, why, Layla, is because when you stop at every word you don't know, what you're focusing on is what you don't know, what you don't understand, right? When you try this technique that I'm suggesting, you just keep going. And then after 15 minutes, you ask yourself, what do I remember? You're training your mind to focus on what you did understand. And again, it feels a little bit, I don't know, like sometimes it feels like a little bit like a spiritual idea. It's almost like praying, right? Like when we pray, we're praying for the things that we want to bring into our life. And I really do mean this in a certain way. In language learning, when we focus on what we do understand, I swear, I promise, it helps us learn better and it helps us learn faster. Now, I completely understand wanting to understand the meaning of every word. That makes sense, right? But you cannot, you will not understand the meaning of every word of every reading the first time you do the reading. It's not possible, right? So so that's my short answer to what I think you're asking. Now, please, Layla, tell me, keep going, tell me, ask me, be critical. What's up?
For me, when I didn't understand the story, I can continue the same. I think I wrote for you. I have here the in winter break. I read by Herman. I read a short story, but I didn't understand it because a lot of word it was new, and I didn't know about river, sea, and ship. I didn't know a lot of about that. How can I continue when I didn't understand half of the story?
Yes, I think that the idea here is when you're practicing a reading strategy, you need to be aware of what your goal is. What is your intention, right? If your goal is to understand every word and the meaning, you're right. You will not reach that goal. But if your goal, if you're reading just to read, I always use this metaphor. So Matloba, you guys who have taken class with me, you've heard it before, but it really is like going to the gym, right? When you start, or exercising, when you start to use a muscle for the first time, it's horrible. It's very painful. And but what happens is it's impossible to go from lifting 1 pound to 100 pounds. You have to go 1 pound, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, right? You have to go slow. You have to build it up over time. But when we tell ourselves as a language learner, and I do this in Spanish too, okay? But when we tell ourselves, oh my God, I have to understand every word the first time, it's not possible, Layla. It's not possible. And when we point the mind, when we focus our attention on what we don't understand, we are slowing ourselves down. So even if you, so again, what this reading technique is, it's like going to the gym, this reading strategy, it's like going to the gym and training your mind to focus on what you do understand, even if it's only one sentence or one half of a page. But I promise you, Layla, you understood something. Okay, you didn't understand River, but did you understand the character's main name? Do you know where the story is? There's got to be something you understood. And I promise you, when you start to ask yourself after a difficult reading, okay, I only understood 20%. Let's say that, right? I only understood 20%. Okay, well, you understood 20%. What was that 20? Let's start there. And then we can go back and review and read and clarify and all those other important things, right? So, yes. You can suggest, sure, please.
If if you don't understand, just don't stop, continue, because there is going to be time, it will come that you will understand the whole point, and it will make a sense, but when you stop, you just like concentrate on the words. That's why it's just not letting you to go further. You just gotta kind of focus.
There's a word
and understand the words. You just try to concentrate on the idea, like what is the point, what is it talking about. That's what I do.
Yeah, I agree. And you're in the right place, Layla. You're in the exact right level, because I think I love teaching this level for a lot of reasons. But one reason I love it is because for many learners, right, at this level, at 325, you have what is called a breakthrough. And if you've never seen this word, it's kind of like an idiom. It has a very specific cultural meaning. But the definition here for breakthrough, and this is Learner's Dictionary. Again, I always say, go to Learner's Dictionary. You add that to the mix with your Google Translate. A breakthrough is a sudden means fast, a sudden increase in knowledge, understanding, etc. An important discovery that happens after trying for a long time to understand or explain something. For example, researchers say that they have made a major breakthrough in cancer treatment, a scientific breakthrough. The vaccine for COVID, that was a breakthrough. Only after 10 months, they had a breakthrough and there's a vaccine, right? So what happens at 325, Layla, is things that felt impossible in the past. I can't do it. I have to understand every word. You've got to break through, right? You've got to have that moment where you push. And I think Susanna is correct. What she's describing is you fight, it's painful. And then you sort of wake up and you're like, this is like a poetic image, kind of like a literature image, but I always describe to people, I remember when I moved to Colombia, I felt like I woke up into Spanish, like I woke up into the language all of the sudden. And a lot of times that is what happens at this level, because at 310, at 50 level, you can definitely get away with, like, you don't really have to push it too hard. But by this class, you're going to write 3-4 page essays. You got to push it. You got to have the breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? So, so even if you don't trust me yet, Layla, I ask you, try a little bit, try a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. So I want to make sure that everybody understands what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to give you some time to do this in class right now. So you don't have to feel stressed about, oh my God, when am I going to find time to do this? But I want to make sure the instructions are clear here, right? Now, I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. You're going to start reading. You're not going to stop. I'm asking you not to translate any words. You can circle, underline, highlight the words you don't know. Again, try not to stop for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'll give you a 5-minute timer and you can write in any language about what you read. And all I ask is that when you write, you focus on what you did understand and not what you didn't understand. Does this make sense, what I'm asking you to do?
Yes. Write for 5 minutes.
Okay.
What do you understand? What do you
Now,
didn't understand?
In the chat, I'm going to put a file because this is the first reading that we're going to do. Okay, it's not in a textbook. It's just an online. It's just posted in Canvas for you guys to look at. But I'm going to type it in, or I'm going to post it into the chat here as well. Give me 1 second. I can also show you where to find it in Canvas, but give me 1 second. Ah, there it is. Okay, so it's sending on in the chat. In just a second, you should be able to download the file right in Zoom in the chat. And then right now, I'll show you where it lives in Canvas too. Great. So the PDF, it's called Grossman WTM 00 Preface and Intro. You can open it, download it in the chat. You can also go to Modules and click on lesson 6, which we will talk about before class is over today. And you can click where it says read the preface and introduction. If you click that link, the PDF will start to download onto your phone, onto your computer, whatever device, but it should open and it should look like this. Can everybody see this? I can give you another minute or two, but I want to make sure everyone can open it, find it, because this is the reading that we're going to start today. This is the reading that we're going to start today.
Small, Chief. I can see.
On the screen, yeah. Well, I'm not going to have it up on the screen. I want to make sure, Fatima, you can open it on your computer. I see Nassima gave me a thumbs up, so that's good.
I opened it in my phone.
It's too small. Do your best. We don't, unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world, so just do your best. Do your best. Okay. So I want to say one other thing. Mira's giving me a thumbs up. I want to say one more thing about this book. Actually, I'll do this now. I have a slide for this. Okay.
Excuse me.
So let me tell you. Yes, Rafi.
Should I exit Zoom first and then go to the Canvas again, or no?
I would love for you guys to just turn off your screen and stay. It's like we're in the classroom kind of working silently. That was kind of my plan. So if you can open the file and have Zoom open at the same time, that would be great. If not, you can just come back to the Zoom room, Rafi, whatever is best for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I want to say one more thing before you get started, and that's this. Where did it go? There it is. So this is about reading why translation matters. So I'm just, as always, I'm thinking of the students who know me, I will always be honest with you guys. And here's the truth. This is the hardest reading we are going to do all semester. We start hard so that everything will feel easier after this. So go slow, be kind to yourself, try not to be afraid. Now, because this is difficult, I do not expect you to understand every word. I really want you to see what a college level text looks like and to practice these reading strategies that will, I promise, if you try them, make you a better reader. I also want you to learn how to take away the main idea from a reading, even if you don't understand all the details. Also, not for this because we're doing a reading strategy, but for lesson 6 and 7, there's going to be 4 lessons about this book. For those chapters in Canvas, I recorded myself speaking, like Katima was saying, speaking out loud. I recorded myself speaking the chapter so that when you do homework, when you're doing these lessons, you can listen to me as I'm reading to try and I will say this, when I'm reading the book to you, I'm trying to be very clear. I'm trying to read so that you can understand the main idea. And last semester, students had a really good experience when they read, they were confused, then they listened to me after they were doing the reading. And the combination of the two together, I think, was really, really helpful for a lot of people. So again, when you're practicing this reading strategy right now, when you're looking at this PDF, it's hard, okay? So try not to be too scared. Try not to be too scared. Any questions before I start the timer and you get to practice this first reading strategy of the semester? People are maybe already reading. Okay, I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. Remember, just read for 15 minutes. Then after 15 minutes, I'll come back. Well, I'll be here, but I'll start talking and I'll say, okay, you have 5 minutes. Write in your language, write about what you do remember. Okay, and then we'll talk about what the experience was like. So 15 minutes. All we're trying to do is read. Don't stop. Don't translate. Kathima is saying, do we have to read all? Read as much as you can. Read as much as you can in 15 minutes, okay? Just do perfect, she says, okay. Okay, so do the best you can. I'm gonna mute myself. If you need help, just send me a message in the chat and I will.
A що ми маємо читати?
Okay, so keep your screen off, stay muted, finish up that last sentence that you were reading. Now we're going to go to the 5-minute writing. So open a Word document, open a note, open a Google document, wherever you can type. If you want to type and text on your phone, wherever you want. But I'm going to set a 5-minute timer now. And remember, you can do this in English or in your first language, whatever is best for you. But again, the whole point, the whole idea is just write and just focus. What did you understand, right? What do you remember from whatever you just read? Whether it was 1 paragraph or 2 page, whatever, it doesn't matter. Give yourself time to remember and write about what you read, English or your first language, you choose. 5 more minutes, then you get to talk to each other. Okay, so 5 more minutes, and then we'll see how it goes. I'll see you in 5 minutes. about the scary alarm noise. All right, so that was 5 minutes. Finish up that last sentence, last word, last idea. Again, you can stay muted, keep your screen off for right now because I'll tell you what I want you to do. I'm going to put you back into your breakout groups, okay? Same groups from the beginning of class. I want you to talk about two things. One is what you just wrote about, right? What did you remember from the reading? You can talk about that. But what I really want you to talk even more about, especially if that was your first time trying that reading strategy, is what was it like, right? So talk about what you read, of course, but also talk about the experience of doing it. And remember, I hated it and I never want to do it again. That's fine, right? All I ask is that you try it and be honest. So I'm not trying to get a specific result here. Katima in the chat says, scared me. Makes sense. That's fine. Scared me is totally appropriate. Tell your group, I'm here to be I'll hold your hand. You can be scared. It's going to be fine. Okay. So remember two things. One is, what did you remember? And if you don't remember anything and this class is horrible, that's fine. And the second thing, what was the experience like? What was the experience like? I'm going to open the breakout rooms now, and I'll type those I'll send those two questions for you guys to talk about as well. Right, rooms are opening now. You should be able to join back in. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
It's really hard.
Yes, it is.
I always I read 2 or 3 times something to understand. For just first time, I didn't successful. I'm not successful for just one time reading.
Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people. I think that's true for a lot of students.
And now I talk with other student again. They wasn't successful, and one of them say, I don't like this Zoom. I
Okay.
I think right now is hard. Maybe we go on is maybe make mix easier.
Absolutely, yes.
But for first, the same novel for first, we don't have any idea. We start. We need someone help us to start and understand.
Well, again, I'm not asking you to understand. I'm asking you to practice a strategy. So again, I think that this is what I'm trying to change your minds is if you are only thinking I'm failing because I don't understand, then that's work that you guys need to do on your own thinking. You need to change your thinking. I'm just asking you to just practice reading and accepting it's going to be hard and you don't understand. Because 3 weeks from now, I promise you, you're going to feel very different. Because again, I'm asking you to exercise a muscle that you've never worked before. And this is the type of muscle that you need in English 300. This is the type of muscle that you need if you want to, transfer or go to Sac State or even complete an associate's degree at ARC. So I am completely sympathetic. I'm completely caring and loving. I know how hard it is, but what I don't want is for people to say it's hard, so I'm not going to do it. Well, that's not really acceptable for me as a teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, like I said, the other reason that I could talk about this when everybody's back too, but the reason that I don't care about grades, I think students feel like, oh my God, if I don't understand, I'm going to fail the class. I'm trying to take that stress away, right? It's not about the grade. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to force you to do is practice the skill. And fear is understandable. Is everybody coming back? People are, I'll bring everybody back. Hold on. People come back early. That's not a good sign. So we can talk about this together in the big group.
We just had like not enough time to read further.
Yes, I
Yes,
think
well, absolutely, of course. And this is what I'll say when everybody's here. So Layla, you're going to hear me say some of the same things I just said to you. I'll share when everybody is back. Let me stop my timer here. Amazing.
Professor, if we continue like this, we will understand everything in the semester.
Sadaf sounds happy. And I know some people love this activity. Some people hate this activity. Like I said, remember, it's on the syllabus. You might love some stuff and hate some stuff. That is okay. All I will ever ask you guys to do is try. Let's talk about it. Layla came in and said, Jeff, it's hard. And I said, yes, yeah, it is. But let's just talk about it. I want to get some of your ideas on the PowerPoint. So what was your experience? And let me see if I can help you or take away some of your very real fear and worry, anxiety. Let's just talk about it. What was this experience like?
Okay.
Please, Susanna, go ahead.
I think it's interesting. I would call it kind of brain exercise. It's interesting because it kind of gives you an idea to just go deep in your brain and think, oh, what I'm thinking, what I got out of this, and it's interesting. I like it. At this point, it's normal reaction when you're reading, when you're starting your reading and you don't understand. It's normal, so it is normal to me. So I'm not panicking and I'm not anxious about it. So
Can I interrupt? Did you write in English or your first language?
No, English.
Great, cool, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
Great. I'm just
I
curious.
try to put it like in English, whatever I think, because it's different. And you know, it's kind of Grossman talks about it. You know, when you do it in your language and you translate it in other language, it sounds different. So I wanted to practice in my, you know, in English, not in
Love
my
it.
native language. So
Great. And
what I got out of it, like, you know, I did not read much. I just got on page 9.
Good.
Not,
Oh, go ahead, Susanna, and then I'll
yeah,
say
not
one
as
thing after you're
much,
done.
but you know, in my understanding, she was kind of explaining why she thinks like translation is, you know, becoming the others of the poem because, you know, when she translates, she's translating and trying to give like what's the other language culture and like the writer experience when she was like, what's the style? I mean, the language is like when she's translating and so like expanding like the emotional impact of words, you know, like she was trying to give a sense why she thinks like it's translators of by I don't know how to put it in the words. You know, basically give the aura. Let's say, let's just like put it this way. So if she translates from Armenian to English, right? So
yes,
has like Armenian has its cultural, you know, the colors and understanding. If you are able to translate exact the same way, not word by word, but give the emotional
right,
and
but
like the aura of the, you know, the poem, like the poem, it's already, she's trying to say it already becomes yours. So she's creating the atmosphere, whatever the writer did. And I just like bullet point like how question is formulated.
Yes.
And by reading and how translate from language to another. So I was kind of by reading doing like some bullet points maybe.
Good, I love it. I love, so again, there's a couple of things. I love when you said when an author or a translator will create an atmosphere, Susanna, it's beautiful. And the other thing I want to say as people are listening, what Susanna said two things, right? She was talking about her experience of practicing the reading strategy, and then she shared some of her understanding, right? What she understood from the reading. I want to be very clear for people who are nervous, right? I'm going to help you with what, especially in this first reading, right? We're only reading 2 chapters from the book. I didn't make you buy the book. I give you the book for free, okay? I will help you understand the ideas. That's my job, right? What your job, what I'm asking you to do is to practice reading things that feel too hard so that you can break through and get ready for transfer level English. Because if you stay stuck in a place where you believe that you have to understand every word, you guys, college is going to be very painful. It's not possible. You can't finish even an associate's degree with that belief. So I know it's hard to change the way we think, but it's got to be done. Angela in the chat says, I wrote in English, but I believe there are a lot of spelling errors. Who cares? This is not a spelling quiz. We can fix the spelling later. Fatima says, it makes my headache, but I like it because I don't have any choice. I have to do it. Yes, Kat. Well, you don't have to. You could drop the class. You know, you could drop the class. Love it. Anybody else? I'd really love if you guys want to share what you understood. That's okay. But I'll tell you right now, we're going to talk. I will talk a lot more about that next week. What I'd love to hear before we finish is what was the experience like? Just what did it feel like reading for 15 minutes and then writing about what you read?
I think it was so good because when we started reading without any stop, it helps us to continue. Even if we don't understand one word or two words, we just have to ignore that and continue to understand more words.
Good.
So after 15 minutes, we just had 5 minutes. It helped us to don't forget, just make notes for us. Anything we understand in this 15 minutes, make a note and then continue. It will help us a lot, I think.
And Sadat, did you write, when you did your writing, did you write in English or first language?
Yes, I wrote in English because if I write in my language, it will not make sense for me.
Okay, and remember, that's fine. Remember, Sadaf, Susanna, you guys are writing in English, that's fine. I just want to tell you, when I was at UC Davis, working with linguists, studying how people learn language, remember, if you did write in your first language, you guys, don't feel bad, because remember, this is a reading activity. So the writing is great, right? Anytime you write in English, you're helping yourself, okay? But remember, even if you're practicing reading by writing about what you read in your first language, the neurons in your brain is still making those connections, right? So if you are listening and going, I wrote in my first language, that's fine. That's all good. That's all good. Thank you, Sadaf. Thank you. I'm glad that you had a positive experience too. Anybody else? What was your experience like? Let's hear from maybe 2 more people. You can put it in the chat. You can unmute yourself, whatever you want. I'm going to read Rukshan's comment. At first time, everything looks good, but it's a better way to improve our reading. I like it. Oh, I'll take it. Rukshan says, I like it. I'll take it. Rukshan took R50 with me. She knows I already made them practice a little bit of this type of stuff in class too. That was 2 years ago, Rukshan, or a year and a half ago. Anybody else? Anybody want to talk about how they hated it? Because that's important to say. If you hate it, and if you're saying, Jeff, why did we do this? Remember, if you ever ask why are we doing this, I promise you, I'm not a perfect teacher, but I have a plan for everything. I have a reason for why we do things. So anybody have questions?
No, dear professor.
Thank you. Samir is always very positive. Thank you, Samir. Okay, so then let me tell you what we're doing, right? So let me tell you what we're doing. We're going to keep talking about different reading strategies for the first month, right? So this is just one. We're going to practice a few more. So if you didn't like this one, fair. We can practice some more and see if they work better for you. But I want to show you what we're going to do now. Now that we've practiced reading, I want to show you what you're going to read. So here's what I'm suggesting before next week. So suggested before February 4th, that's a week from today. Lesson 4, the discussion. Many of you have already posted there. So if you already posted, you're great. You're done with that. I will be grading the welcome letter and this discussion activity before next class for sure, maybe even before Monday. So the grades might go very fast there. Then I have lesson 6 and lesson 7. Now remember, this says quiz, but I'm going to show you in Canvas. This is not like you only get one chance and the grade is very important. This quiz is going to be a chance for you to practice understanding the ideas from the reading, right? My little ones want everything since I started reading. Fatma, I think, is talking about what her reading strategy for reading in her house is like right now. And then lesson 7. So I'm going to show you in Canvas where this lives. Let me make my screen bigger so you can actually see. So again, remember, if you click on the home page, you can find the assignments in lots of different places. I will always use modules when I'm showing you. So if you go to modules, they're all here under lessons. And here's lesson 6. I already showed you a little bit, but lesson 6 says instructions. 1, read the preface and the introduction to why translation matters. So what you started reading, I want you to finish reading that PDF. Take as long as you need. It's not a race. It's all good. 2, if you want to listen to me reading out loud after you read, while you read, whatever, if you want to hear even more of Professor Jeff talking.
Why translation
Can you guys hear my voice in the
Edith
reading?
Grossman.
Yes.
Preface and introduction.
Perfect. Oh, I heard my own echo. So I read the entire chapter, right? It takes 45 minutes. So listen 15 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time, whatever. But that recording is there for you to listen to if it will help you understand the ideas. But again, remember, we're practicing reading skills. And then you'll click take the quiz. And again, you'll get multiple, but the quiz is really just multiple choice true false, you guys. It is not give me the one right answer, here's an F. It is, did you understand some of the most important ideas? And to make things easy, I even tell you what page number stuff is on. Okay, so query as response, whatever that means, you're gonna find out. That's on page 5, right? In question 4, I say on page 11, right? So I'm my intention with this quiz is to make it easy, and it's a way to help you understand the reading while you are reading it. Okay, so any questions about lesson 6?
Could you please give us a suggestion? Is it good to reading the by ourselves or to listen when you read the books?
Yeah,
which way is great for us
that's a great
for
question.
student? I mean,
I'm not trying to be difficult when I say it really depends. You know, some people are really good visual learners. They remember things that they see. Other people are really good auditory learners. They remember what they hear. It's just different for everybody. That's one reason that I give students options. But I will say for me, and I do this with books in Spanish by Gabriel Garcia Marquez and some of my favorite authors and poets too, is what I really like to do in Spanish, right, is read the thing in Spanish, understand what I can understand, then listen after I read. And I feel like that really helps me to make, again, everything we know about language learning. I do this sign because that's what happens in our brain, right? Our neurons, they're apart, then they get connected. And if we're lucky, we remember, right? And so that's the way I do it, Angela, but you might hate that, right? Maybe you're a great visual learner. Reading is the way you remember things. So my suggestion for this first week, the second week, the third week, try different ways, Angela. I'll tell you right now, I've recorded myself reading a lot of the materials for this class, so it's there for you to play with, right? If you find out you love the audio, great, listen to me. If you find out you hate it, great, you don't need to use it, you know?
Thank you.
Professor, it has time
Yes,
frame.
of course. Samira, please.
It has time frame this quiz.
No time limit. I think I have 2 or 3 options. I think you made it easy for us to understand the reading when you put the page numbers. Thanks. Saeed, that is my intention. You are welcome. I hope that it's easy for you to understand. Samira was saying, is there a time? No, it's not. Again, it says it's a quiz, you guys, but it's not really a quiz. Let me make sure. I think I have it set to 2 or 3.
It's practice.
Make sure. Thank you very much, Angela. Whoever said practice, I should just change it to practice. I love that idea. That's even better. I will take a screenshot for reading and then listen to your voice. That's my intention, right? You guys already know from week 1, I'm not trying to give you Fs. Oh, let me do. Three. So yes, it's practice. So if you take the practice quiz and you get 2 questions wrong, take it again, right? That's the whole point here. So I'm glad that I checked the settings here. Right, so it's worth 10 points. You have 3 attempts to take the quiz. There is no time limit. It is just a way for you to practice understanding the ideas from the reading. Any other questions about lesson 6? Lesson 7 is short and sweet and much easier.
Yeah, I have question more about lesson 7. So can you please explain to us?
Veronica, yes. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So lesson 7 says, again, read the preface and the introduction. This is the same article. If you want, listen, the audio is there for you again, and then answer these questions or follow the instructions. Here are the instructions. So 1, this lesson will be a chance to practice learning and using vocabulary from the book. So in a Word document or in the text box below, I want you to, 1, choose a word from the reading and include the page that you read it on. 2, copy and paste the definition of that word. Just copy and paste the definition. Then here, I think, hopefully, is the fun part. Then write an original sentence. In other words, use your own new sentence using the word. And I just want you to do this for 5 words. You choose the words because, like I said, you're going to see a lot of new words in this reading. So this is a chance for you to learn some of those words. So for example, on page 5, she uses the word moonlighted. And if you look here in the PDF, I think I can remember where that part of the section is. So on page 5, where did it go? For the translation, concentration.
It's page 4, I think.
Is it 4? I got the page. The teacher is showing you the example and he got the page wrong. Oh, Jeffrey. Is it here on the bottom one or is it on the next one?
It's page 5, second paragraph.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you. Ah, there it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I have 6 hours of Zoom today and my eyes are leaving my brain. Yes, my translation of Macedonia's The Surgery of Psychic Removal was published in Review in 1973. From that time on, I moonlighted as a translator of poetry and fiction in a fairly regular way, while I sunlighted as a college instructor until 1990. So if you look up the word moonlighted, right, and again, my last suggestion, learnersdictionary.com, I love this dictionary. You'll see that the definition is moonlighted, a verb to have a second job in addition to one's regular employment. So here's my example, and this was true. When I was in graduate school, I moonlighted as a teacher's assistant at College of Alameda, right? So all I'm asking you to do, thank you, and I see Reina's comment in the chat, thank you. All I'm asking you to do is, as you're reading, choose 5 words, look up the definition, and then write an original sentence, practice using that word. So that's it. Does that make sense, Veronica? And like I said, you can do it in a Word document, or you can just do it in a text box on the page. Look at that real quick. And then we're gonna get out of here. Student view, what is going on? Even my internet is tired now today, you guys. Oh, it's so slow. Click submit assignment and you can upload a document here if you want by choose file, or if you click just text entry, you can just type in the text box for this assignment. Cool. Especially for my phone people, my phone users, that'll probably be easier than trying to do a document on your phone. Oh, and I wanted to say one other thing, and then I'll open it up for last questions. If you are a super fast person, if you finish lesson 4 and 6 and 7 and you want to go fast, just start reading A Map is One Country. We're going to read the whole book. We're probably not going to start for a week or 2 though. But again, for my students who go fast, go fast. Students who go slow, go slow. It's all good. Any questions about lesson 4, 6, or 7? Any questions about anything? Really?
Okay, I read the first of A Map, Only One Story.
Yep.
I read Victoria Blanco.
Yep, Victoria Blanco.
I think I read all of them one time. But I think the IOTER and IOTER have goals, but I didn't see any goals. Just it's a story. This is my I think. Just this is a story. I didn't find any goals. Why he or she, I don't know who wrote this story. The same we talk about Rosa. Rosa has a goal. When we talk about it, we talk about her and we read his book because he changed the law. But
sure.
Excuse me.
I promise. Well, I don't know if you will change your mind, but I promise when we start to introduce narrative writing, when we talk about genre, when we talk about author intention, when we talk about plot and character and themes, which is a big thing here, I hope I can change your mind, Layla, because I promise there's a lot going on in all of those stories. And like I said, even if people don't like the activities in this class, I promise I have a reason. So I promise you that I chose this book for a reason. There's a lot going on there, and it's not, I promise also, it's not just a story. But we won't talk about that book for about 2 weeks or so. We've got to talk about reading strategies. We've got to get comfortable finding themes and finding main ideas before we start to look at that in a narrative.
Thank you.
Yes, other questions? I love that you started reading though, Layla. That's fantastic. I love that you were just curious and wanted to see what was going on. I love that.
This week I review 1 time or 2 times.
I love it.
If
I love it. Anybody else? Any other questions about lesson 6, 7, the class, anything else before we get out of here? All right. If you don't have questions, goodbye. You're wonderful. I'll see you next week. If you do, I can stay for another few minutes and answer questions. Okay. So I'll see you guys next week. Text me, email me, if you need any help.
Thank you, Professor.
Have a good weekend. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye, Angela. Bye, Elena.
Bye.
Bye, Fatma. Bye, Angela. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Let's see what's in the chat. Thank you, Sadaf. I'll see you later. I'm going to stop recording in case students have specific questions. Thank you, Reina. You too. Thank you for all your contributions to the class. Thank you. Fawzia is saying, how can I find the PDF? Fawzia, I'm going to keep sharing my screen then. So again, if you go to lesson 6 or 7, Fawzia, all you have to do where it says read the preface and introduction, just click that blue link or the little arrow right here, click it. I don't know why it's so slow. And then it should just open for you like this, right? Fawzia, or can you check that, Fawzia, and see if it, Rafi, are you still having problems finding the PDF?
No, I can't find.
Yes.
Thank
Fawzia,
you.
I'm still here, so check that and see if it doesn't work. I'm here. Let me know if you need it.
Excuse me, Professor. I found this
Yeah.
one, but I want about the another book, math, because I haven't gotten my book yet.
Okay, then that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to go fat, I don't know if I scanned too much stuff. Let me check. Hold on. It's not going to be for like 2 weeks, Hazia. Okay, so don't worry too much. But I know you are a fast student. Let me see if I click on course materials. Let me see what I put in there. It's all just PDFs, it's all just audio, not the PDFs. Let me check one other thing on my computer here, Fawzia.
Okay.
Do you know when your book is supposed to come?
I don't know. Maybe next week, maybe not.
Okay. Let me check on my computer if I have any PDFs. I don't think I have too many of this book. You know what I'll say to you, Fawzia, if you want to go fast, do this, because like I said, we're going to only read 2 chapters from this Grossman book. So if you want to go fast because you don't have the book yet, go to Professor Jeff's course materials here on the homepage. And then go down to the bottom here where it says why translation matters, and let me pause this. Look at the PDF for chapter 1, because we're going to read the preface and the introduction this week. We're going to read chapter 1 next week, and that's it. And then we're going to go to a map is only one story. Okay. So if you want to go fast, read Grossman WT right here. Grossman WTM chapter 1. Read that one.
Yeah, it is the audio. Yeah.
Yeah, you have both. The one that says PDF is the
Okay,
file,
I found it.
and the one that says MP3 is the audio.
Okay, I found it. Thank you so much, Professor.
Of course, good to hear your voice as always, Fawzia.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. Saeed, Nasima, anything? Are you there? Can I help you? Any questions?
Yeah, actually, I have a question regarding the student room, Zoom room.
Yes.
So what I read from here, it says we're gonna add something to sign in for it. So
I think, yeah, I need to fix someone. I think Layla, someone was saying that the link, I need to fix the link. So I'm sorry if there was a problem today. I think there was. I need to fix the link. And you know what? I'll just say this, Saeed. I'm going to fix it and I'll send out an announcement in Canvas just with more instructions. I think this semester I'm going to make it even easier. So you don't need a sign up sheet. You can just go at any time. And if you want to, you can see, you know, if anyone else is going to be there, try and find out if you can get support. But for now, let me fix the link. And then when I fix the link, I'll send out an announcement in Canvas.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Anything else I can help you with?
That's all. Yeah. Have a
Great.
good day.
Thank you, Syed. Have a great day. You too.